Sunday, you down?
Oh, for the
0 hour party.
right.
We get to drink with Peter Moore.
And Jay Allard.
High five Jay Allard. Best Buy is gonna have a shop set up on site, so people can buy their systems a day early. I figured we can talk to the kids, maybe shoot the entire One Up show next week on location.
How many more miles do we get home?
Gizmondo says 197, so we'll get there in like 3 hours, something like that.
I'm tired. I just want to go to sleep.
What? Not gonna play your 360 when you get back? Hook that up.
I'm not going to do anything until I wash off the brown water from Ghetto Inn off of my body.
The Desert Inn, you mean?
This can't be the place.
It's the place.
No.
It's where junkies go to die. But it was worth it, right? We got our 360s. We were at the epicenter of gaming. I mean, how could we just go back to the office now? It's gonna be so boring sitting there.
That's true. Nothing can compare after being at the gaming epicenter.
Wow. Hey, look, guys. It's the epicenter of gaming.
Peter Moore was really nice. I was surprised that he remembered my name.
Yeah, it seemed like so long ago. It was like one of the first interviews we did there. But I wanted to get a few drinks in me before I talked to him because I kind of was trying to remove that marketing shield that he usually has. Try to get him to say some real things. Okay. Well, anyway, I have my excellent notes here.
Glad that you've got a beer in one hand and a cocktail napkin
Yes.
with your interview on the other. No expense spared from the Ziff Davis media conglomerate.
Backwards
I hope
compatibility.
you're getting this. Oh, backwards. There's still questions about backwards compatibility.
You guys finally announced it. I mean, it's awesome.
212 titles.
Nobody was
Who would have
expecting.
thunk that?
Nobody was expecting 212
Thank
titles. Okay. However,
See, there's always
I mean,
Barbie's Horse Adventure. Why?
I'm a huge Forza fan
Okay.
and the Rally Sport
Do,
Challenge 2
do,
fan.
do you want to get into the technical emulation software
Actually, why don't you
issues?
just let us know when that stuff will be
I don't know. We are going to continue to work to grow the list. Our goal was to get the top-selling titles and some important ones we needed to do. And then what happens is through software emulation, there's a lot of stuff that just works.
Right.
You have to test and test and test, but then it works. What the team, who have now been elevated to Emulation Ninjas, is their official title, has done is unbelievable. But yeah, and this titles, people scratch their head at and they go, I don't get that, and yet Splinter Cell's not on there. It's not as easy as saying Barbie Horse Adventure, which everybody seems transfixed on. And I read the boards, and everybody's clamoring for Panzer Dragoon Auto, and so. But
Psychonauts.
but the list will continue to grow, and the team's taking a break right now because we need to get some critical mass, and I think 200 plus titles was critical mass.
Okay, so shortages. EB and GameStop had to cut back on their pre-orders because you guys cut back on your numbers.
Yeah. The way these things work are we provide an allocation based on our best estimates of what our silicon yields are going to be. And then as we get both of our factories up and running, what we think our capacity will be to deliver day one, and perhaps equally importantly, what our flow will be the following week, and the week after that, and the week after that. Shortage is a subjective term based on demand and supply. Demand is huge.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we, and it's a complex undertaking. We're not baking loaves. We're making a device that has 1,700 separate parts. Flying them into the US and then launching Europe 8 days, 10 days later, and then going to Japan 6 days, 8 days after that.
So how many units do you have globally, and how many just in the US?
If I told you that, A, I'd be fired. B, I'd be guilty of insider trading. C, you wouldn't be able to broad because the SEC would be down there. The two things that you need to think about, the first 90 days, which is perhaps a more important milestone, we think we're going to be between 2.5 and maybe 3 million units globally. And then our goal for the holiday, as we've said many times, is to hit 10 million units. And we think that's a very important number.
The PSP came out earlier this year, and it was an awesome launch. The problem is that a couple months after launch, it was kind of like a dry period, and it's still kind of dry right now. And so people are kind of worried that like with 360, you're gonna have an awesome launch now, but come February, March, April, aside from the games that kind of got pushed back, like Oblivion, Full Auto, Ghost Recon, sort of what do you guys have planned in the immediate future aside from the stuff that was slated for launch but now are being pushed back?
Well, you've got the games you just mentioned, then of course you've got Tomb Raider, and I can't remember when that is, March or April, whatever that's doing. Splinter Cell. You've got a ton of great games coming in what is traditionally a quiet time. Listen, there's nobody that's learned this lesson more about having great launches and then slowly having a drying up of games.
Q1 2006 isn't a time period that you're really worried about right now?
All I'm worried about is catching up with demand on the hardware at that point. Remember, you're going to have a lot of people that in January and February finally get their hands on an Xbox 360 and will be discovering Project Gotham Racing and Cameo and PDZ and King Kong and Call of Duty and Condemned for the first time.
Right.
You don't have to give them fresh stuff because then they finally get the hardware and they go buy the launch titles.
We brought PDZ down for our trip. We brought the debug. We brought the game. So after this, we're going back to the hotel.
Well,
HDTV.
And HDTV. We brought an HDTV.
That's essential.
Yeah,
I can't remember who's reviewing it, but I like the fact that he is reviewing it in 6 hour
that would be
increments.
me.
That would be you.
Yeah,
I think it was you. Now, if you guys would play Cameo the way it's supposed to be played, we would have a whole different conversation.
Andrew Pfister is not.
Let me tell you,
whoever
those three guys, Christian, right?
Christian, yeah.
Andrew. Shane.
Shane.
That's not a review. You know what that looked like to me? That one page for Cameo, was already like pre-formatted about 3 months ago. What was it? A point for every year in development was already written. And when you play Cameo like that, which those three guys clearly did because they probably had a print deadline, then that's the experience you're going to get, whether it's 10 or 12 hours. Cameo is a game you play like that, and you stay 2-3 hours on a level, and you take us swimming, and you do all of the stuff that is such a fabulous game. So I will expect a re-review in a future issue, Kimmy.
I will review it. I will review it on my blog as soon as I play it.
6, and 7.
Oh, well, that's the EGM.
It's still, that to me is one of your babies. Oh!
Thanks for your time, man.
All right, Jay.
Thank
Good
you very
seeing
much.
All right.
We're in a little motel in the middle of the desert, not too swank, but we did bring our HDTV with us and our Xbox debug units so that we could play through some more PDZ before Che's review.
A lot of reviewers will be playing it kind of like I did, which is basically to rush through it in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Finish all 14 missions in 2 days with Secret Agent, just to see the ending, just so you can like
Say you've played through the whole
play,
thing.
yeah, and write something, which I think is the wrong way to play a game like that, because I think you could do it with a game like Halo, for instance.
Sure.
On just sort of standard difficulty, but with PDZ, I guess this like story continuity isn't really the point.
Right.
It's like short, self-contained, broken up levels that are meant for like speedrun freaks.
Right. It kind of harkens back to the days of 2D where you'd be playing like a side scroller game like
R-Type, dude.
Contra,
Yeah.
even like Contra or something like that, where like now you're on the jungle level, now
Right,
you're on
right.
the temple.
So I finished the game the other night, and I mean my initial reaction was like, this game has some like super high moments, and then like some levels were really frustrating. And I think a part of that was because I was having trouble with the checkpoint system, because there is only one checkpoint in the game.
Yes.
And oftentimes it's about 15 minutes into the level, 20 minutes into the level, and then you die, and then you're like, oh Jesus, I gotta start that over again.
But GoldenEye, and then all the way up through now PDZ, were designed around replayability again. So what you may think is a 15-minute checkpoint isn't. The longest levels in this game are about 15 minutes. That's the whole level, right? And so as you learn to play the game, whether it's get to the checkpoint, die, start again, don't get to the checkpoint, die, start again. Each time you're playing the level, you're going faster and faster and faster. It's an interesting phenomenon to have a game that's really, really fun, but ungodly fun to replay. I mean, so many games nowadays it's really fun and the replay is kind of okay, and if you play it 4 times, you're like, you don't have enough money to buy the next game, right? You know, where I think with PD, it accelerates. You know, you learn the game and it's fun, but when you've played a level 20 times and you have the weapons that you want and you've unlocked the gadget, because you can actually unlock to pick which gadgets you want to bring into levels as well, you know, and again, it gives you that kind of, that was a rush beating that level on Perfect. Humongous fan of GoldenEye and Perfect Dark on the 64, of course, like many of the viewers, right? But now it's 32 players on live. And the whole Dark Ops mode just kind of changed the way you play multiplayer. There's traditional GoldenEye PD stuff in there. That's the deathmatch, which includes capture the flag and etc.
Right, now there's sabotage, infection. And
Yep. Yeah, but then you get the Dark Ops side, which is, you know, the round-based, one life. I mean, it just added so much depth. Then you throw in vehicles and the way the maps work.
Most of the maps feel pretty big. They have the ability to kind of expand and change, like based on the number of players in, and you can choose which size map you're loading at any given time, but even the small maps feel pretty big. The maps lend themselves to snipery type weapons or weapons with scopes, and the up close gameplay right now feels kind of jittery. I think it's because we're new to the controls and all that, but like, unless you have a shotgun, you kind of feel helpless when you're at close range.
Like in multiplayer, it's really, really hard to bring somebody down with, unless you're good.
That's true.
You know, with an Uzi or something.
I mean, I think it's still bothersome in single player because I tend to like my weapons to feel really strong, like, and I like it to be kind of more realistic. I don't think I should have to shoot a guy like with 20 bullets, like literally 20 or 30 bullets in this game, and to have them go down. And I have to say, if you buy this game, read the manual first. Really, really do read the manual, at least the part that describes the weapons and their secondary and tertiary functions. Because playing through the single player the first time, we didn't have the retail games, we just had the disc, so I didn't have any way to check like any of the features of the game. And there were times when I was like, damn, I wish I had a flashlight. Well, there's a flashlight on the main pistol, but you have to activate it using this funny button command that you would never figure out. What I read this morning is that the roll mechanic that you use to like dodge and evade, it's really cool and it's really helpful, especially in deathmatch when you're in close range battles. If you land a shot on someone who's doing the roll mechanic, it actually does more damage than it does if they're just walking around.
RTFM. We wouldn't have known that.
Yep.
I have to say, like, the game isn't the kind of game that really looks its best, you know, in still screenshots.
Right.
Maybe because, I mean, obviously there's been all those jokes about Wall Guy and all that stuff. You know,
Wall Guy's a bot.
he's a bot now.
Oh yeah, go gaff. Love the gaff.
Love the guy.
You know how leading up to this there was the roller coaster? It's the roller coaster while you're playing it too.
Dude, it's the roller coaster the whole time, basically. I mean, this game could have been like so much more.
And it also could have been so much less. When I finally made it to the 7th mission, I had been kind of down on the game for a really long time. You know, I played through the first 6 missions with my roommate, and we were sitting around, and like he was getting really frustrated by the checkpoints and by dying. And I get to the 7th mission, he's gone out to lunch, and all of a sudden I'm like on this big shell MGS2 looking like thing in the middle of the ocean, and I'm fighting these 2 cowboys. Like
Ocelot's cousins.
seriously, from like across the like a divide, using like sniper weapons, using cover, and it felt like an MGS2 boss battle. So at some point, I'm walking around with this super sweet weapon, X-ray vision that like goes off into the infinity, where I can just like see dudes lounging in their chairs like miles away, and it doesn't run out. Like you can just use it forever, and it started to feel like a first-person Metal Gear Solid game, and I was like, this is absolutely excellent. Like I had played through some seriously frustrating bits, but then all of a sudden it was excellent. And the next mission was like this really cool squad-based mission, and then the mission after that was this really cool jungle mission where you like get this vision mode where you can see all the enemy threats. They like light up in red, and so you're just running around like the Predator, shooting all your little red dots on the screen, like. And if you don't have that vision mode turned on, you can't see a damn thing because there's just foliage everywhere. It's really like they do some interesting things with the gadgets that really make the gameplay extremely unique.
I mean, it's adopted. You know, it's evolved a bit from the last game. It's adopted a lot of parts from Halo. You know, but at the same time, it's really doing its own thing. So,
Yeah.
I think it's a great game that just goes out of its way to piss you off. So
I agree.
So, when you saw the Nintendo Revolution controller
Right.
as an ex-Nintendo fan or a current Nintendo fan, ex-Nintendo employee, how did you feel? I mean, what was the reaction from you?
I mean, I kind of see that hardware, and I mean this as a compliment, as like the ultimate dance machine, right? They can do some pretty cool, unique. You got 4, 5, 10 people in the house. Let's show them this cool, whatever game, sword fighting, or stand in front of the TV and go like this. It'll be really hard for the kind of long-time gamers to look aside.
Especially for all those gaffers out there.
Absolutely.
Right on, thanks, guys.
That's a pleasure.
Man, I am freaking thirsty, dude. I haven't had anything to drink since we had those beers last night with Cliffy and Frank.
yeah, Microsoft really brought out the big guns of partying last night.
Man, that guy's a rock star.
You hated Halo because
I didn't hate Halo.
okay, it was on Xbox before
You know what
PC
it was?
and you were bitter.
You know what it
You were
was?
one of those bitter PC fanboys.
I was just jealous.
Yeah, you were.
I was jealous. I was like, damn it, they got there first. Like 6 million units later. And I had this one time, I was at DICE a couple years ago. Who's that tall programmer with the accent? I can't remember his name, but he has glasses.
Oh, no.
And we're in a car in Vegas, and I'm like ranting to somebody about Halo, and I hear this voice in the background go, 5 million units and counting. And I'm like,
Was that you? That was you.
It wasn't me. It was the tall programmer with glasses.
Yes.
Which narrows it way down, right?
yeah, I loved Halo too.
Yeah, that does explain it. Now, personally, I liked all the Unreal games and Gears of War. So, whereas Cliffy B hates 50% of our console arsenal.
Did you play MGS3?
Yes. I honestly couldn't get hooked on MGS3.
You didn't like it that
I
much.
played first Metal Gear on NES. I played the second Metal Gear. I played Solid. I played 2. Third one, like I didn't have my radar initially. Like the perspective was all confusing, and it wasn't clear when I was hidden and when I wasn't. And I couldn't get through the first like 20 minutes of it. And like honestly, like everybody who got past that said it was an amazing series of boss battles. But it was tough, and I got frustrated.
You know what? We play Subsistence on Friday, and like it reminds me a lot of the sort of perspective you guys are going for with Gears of War. Except, I mean, there's no over-the-shoulder view, but you can just pan the camera around just wherever you
It's
go.
like every time I play a third-person game now, it's like the character's right in the middle of the screen. Like I was watching, footage of a certain game starring an upcoming rapper. I'm not gonna name names, but bullets just fly right off of him. And like I'm looking at it, and the character's dead center, and I'm like, here I am. Here's my character. Here's my crosshair. And it's like he's just blocking everything I want to shoot. Like just offset it a little bit, right? RE4 was great, and steal from the best, right?
You're at Microsoft. You've been around 360 the whole time. Like, what are you gonna buy on day one?
So I'm obviously going to get the Microsoft stuff because it's massively subsidized. But I'm definitely going to play. I mean, from seeing Perfect Dark, and it's got everything I want. It's like tons of variety. Like I don't know what multiplayer is going to feel like, but it certainly looks really good. I like how the levels like scale depending on how many players there are. So I want to see how that works.
Dude, it's got jetpacks.
Jetpacks. PDZ, I definitely want to play Call of Duty. I got the PC version and I just hit it so that I wouldn't ruin anything for myself. And Ridge Racer, I gotta say, like, fuck the haters. Ridge Racer looks awesome, and I love Ridge Racer and all versions of Ridge Racer.
Not PGR3 over Ridge Racer or what?
Like I said, I get that practically for free. So PGR is that. PGR is my, hey dudes, check out my HD TV, check out my 360. Look what it looks like. But Ridge Racer's like my dirty little secret, like 3 a.m. Oh no, I've just got to unlock Pac-Man and Galaga 13.
So we were watching your presentation. We're like, man, these are all hardcore gamers.
They seem to like the game.
It's like, how many levels are there? How many weapons are there?
I hate that. It's like, how many
okay.
levels? How many weapons? And it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna go see Lord of the Rings. There's 6 swords and 400 orcs and 3. It's just like, why break it down by the numbers? Like, let's enjoy the experience, and let's make it fun. Describe what Gears of War is like to play. You take cover and you jump over the cover and you go after the Locust and he comes after you, and it's like you're sweating and you're getting excited, and it's not like there's 12 guns. It's just not cool. I got a fan over there eyeing me. You want to come here? Come in the shot? Come here.
It's not a fan, it's more than a fan. It's
More than a
Chantel from 1UP. ChantelJoy.oneup.com. We love Chantel.
Thanks.
So I was just inside. I was playing Condemned, which is a game I've been looking forward to for quite a while.
What do you think about that?
I think it's friggin' awesome. I think it's kind of like Manhunt meets CSI.
Yeah.
Right? I like a game that has like the blacklight and I can like look for semen stains. It's kind of like I'm at the Best Western in Palmdale.
Of course, Cliff says
And
that.
you always find semen on the
Chantel,
ceiling.
let's play.
I thought it was cool. It's kind of Indigo Prophecy almost in a way too.
Little Indigo Prophecy.
Chantel.
What else did I play? I played Ridge Racer, which is cool. And I love PGR, I love Ridge Racer, I love all these games, but every time I play them out, I just want to play Burnout.
Oh.
Being a girl, I'm definitely a fan of the game. You get to crash it. That's all that matters.
Does that mean girls
You like
Or
Burnout as well?
Sorry,
Does
I
that
love
mean,
it.
does that mean girls are bad drivers and they're prone to
I'm
crashing?
a better driver than you. You bring up on a suck.
We're more offensive drivers.
We're suppressed violence.
Hey, we're not
Yes.
the ones like flicking the birds to people, okay? When we get cut off, we're
You're
like,
the ones
okay.
like, what's up?
The question is, what do you think about Perfect Dark Zero?
PDC is hot.
You like it?
The thing is PDC.
All the way?
When you first start playing PDC, like you're trained for Halo, right? And you're like, oh, this has got to be Halo, but they got some cover in there, they got some different weapons, they got some different vision modes and stuff like that, right? Initially, it's kind of like it's a tough adjustment, but once you really start easing into the game, it's kind of like getting into a hot bath. Right, you put your toe in, you're like, I'm expecting a cooler bath, right? And then when you finally kind of lower in and it feels good, and then you're relaxed, and then you're ready to pass out from the heat. I want to know who has more fans in their fan club right now, Kimmy or me?
Come on.
I think Kimmy's beating you.
I think I want to put a picture of me in a nun outfit, like with the stocking,
I
and I'm like,
deleted those. I
check this
deleted
out.
those.
Look at me, I'm a naughty nun. Right? It's a race between Kimmy and Rachel to see who gets kicked off 1UP first.
Gears of War. I mean, you guys are going quiet for a while, right? You guys are gonna just.
Well, Mark's trying to put the duct tape on my mouth, but
Where's
I
Mark?
keep doing interviews. I think Mark's over inside, like harassing gamers or talking about.
We want to harass Mark right now.
I think he's dogging the Revolution
Gotta get
controller or something.
So, Unreal Engine 3. You guys are on PS3, Xbox 360, and the PC.
Yes.
I mean, how do you do it? I mean, how is it so scalable? I mean, is it equal across the board? I mean, is it?
Well, we just got really lucky, actually. All the console companies came out with the kind of graphics hardware we were designing it for in the first place. I mean, we basically designed it to be a next generation, top-of-line, high-end engine.
Right.
And then luckily Sony and Microsoft came along and chose graphics parts from NVIDIA and ATI that were basically the ones we were designing for anyway. So
I mean,
we got really lucky on that.
Do you not agree with Gabe Newell from Valve when he says, the next-gen consoles are bullshit because, they're multi-core and nobody can ever take advantage of that? I mean...
Yeah, okay. That's no. I don't agree with that at all.
Right.
We're already starting to take advantage of it. Not in these demos, because these were done a long time ago. But yeah, we're already using a lot of the multi-core processing power of the Xbox 360, and we plan to do a lot more. So no, I don't agree with that. It just takes it takes an effort, right? You really have to actually, in one area he's right, it is a different kind of programming approach than what you're used to doing. But the truth is, PCs are going this direction too.
Right.
So if you want to be ready for PlayStation 4 and Xbox 720 and PC in 2011,
Right.
you're gonna have to start learning this stuff, and everybody will.
And then
Right.
obviously we're going to see the Revolution version of Gears of War. And so what's the controller going to do? I mean, what's going to happen
Well,
with that?
Gears of War is published by Microsoft, so you will not see it on other consoles, only on Xbox 360. But our other game, Unreal Tournament, we'll hopefully do on all the consoles. We don't have a Revolution dev kit yet, as you probably heard.
But you don't hate the Revolution. I mean.
No, I think people misunderstood what I was talking about.
misunderstanding.
Yeah, I said Nintendo's going to make amazing games. I mean, all I said was, and it was stupid of me to say it, that people will make gimmicky games for it. I stand by the statement. It is true. But, it made it sound like I didn't like the machine, and that was wrong.
I wouldn't apologize for your statement because.
Oh, I'm not. Anytime you make a device that allows people to go off and do radical experiments. Some will, and they'll do really cool stuff. And Nintendo obviously has designs in mind years before these things come to market. But then some people will just make, you know, things, oh, it'd be really cool to do a writing game. So I'm gonna make a writing game. Well, it may be a waste of money game, but somebody will make it. Jim Merrick from Nintendo invited us to come show them what we can do. So I called him up that same day, and
Did you take the challenge?
we had a great chat, and I said, yeah, please get us a dev kit.
Cool.
The truth is, we'd love to get Unreal Engine 3 on it. It would be a great, hopefully it'll be a good fit. We don't know the specs of the hardware.
Yeah, well, Nintendo's not announcing the specs.
Yeah, so you know, so we really don't know that much about it, but if it works on it and we can get our games on it, we'll do it.
Mark Rain, Epic Games, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Alright, chilling with Jake Hasdall.
What's going on?
Xbox fanboy extraordinaire, ex-Sega guy, worked on Rez. Well, what else did you do?
Space Channel 5, Space Channel 5,
Space Channel 5.
Astro Boy, and a canceled game for GameCube.
You worked on Astro Boy?
Yeah. I got my name cut from it because they switched over to Sonic Team right before I left.
Did you like Astro Boy?
I haven't played it yet.
It sucks. You were saying that 99 Nights.
99 Nights, yeah, it looks good. That's all my ex-teammates, and it's a really beautiful game. I'm really impressed. I think a lot of the Korean design is really up and coming right now. It doesn't have that same anime look. It's kind of similar, but they've got some different stuff, and I think Fanagram's a really talented team. I'm excited to see where this will go.
I mean, what do you think drew Mizuguchi to 99 Nights and that whole Fantagram tune?
I don't know. I think he wanted to do something epic. I think he's wanted to do it for a while, and this is a good chance to tell a real story. I think he's got a real angle towards the story. It's going to be something we haven't really played before, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I think the online program is really good. I think it's going to be a big deal. I think Sony's making a mistake by not doing an online program very similar to what Microsoft's achieved with Xbox Live. And bring on Halo 3, man, and make it better than Halo 2, because I'm a big Halo 1 fan, and I was not into Halo 2. But I
You
think
hear that, Frankie? You hear that?
he knows. Bring on Halo 3. Make it like Halo 1, but only, I don't know, bigger, more, just whatever. I don't care.
Ending.
It wasn't even an issue for me. I didn't like the whole game, so I think
you were actually a Halo 2 hater from the beginning. I remember that.
Halo 1 is my favorite game ever. I think it's an excellent piece of software. I think it's one of the best crafted games ever made. It's so solid, it's so tight. It's just balanced, it's fair. It's got these big, beautiful open environments where you can do your own thing. And the second game is just like this corridor shooter with these things jumping out at you. And maybe the engine couldn't handle it with all the self-shadowing and all the bump map stuff, but I don't know. It wasn't the same experience. It felt like a lot of other games where the first Halo was really original, and it's still in these huge environments. I still play that game, and I still think it looks awesome. It still holds up to this day. Nothing's topped it, in my opinion. I sound like a complete fanboy. I'm gonna get off this thing right now, but bring on Halo 3, please. Make it good. Make me happy.
As I mentioned before, we got here at Best Buy. Wasn't selling our game Condemned Criminal Origins, so we're here to give some copies away. What we're gonna do is we're gonna ask some trivia questions. We want you guys, if you know the answer, only if you know the answer, to put your hands up. Then we're gonna come to you and ask you if you know the answer. If you have a correct answer, you're gonna walk out of here with a copy of the game. Yeah, the country that Sega originates from. No, it's not Japan. Incorrect answer. USA.
Nicely done.
Everybody seemed to like the 360 a whole lot.
Consumer reaction was surprisingly positive. I mean, everybody we talked to, everyone thought it was worth $600 that they were spending.
Except for that one tattooed hipster.
And also the Nintendo shirt guy. I don't know what's up with that dude, but yeah. Cool, man. What's your name?
I'm Graham.
Graham. Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from LA now. I live there. I'm from Ohio originally.
Dude, man, what's up with the Nintendo shirt?
I gotta represent,
Hey, he's wearing a Nintendo shirt over here. What's up with that?
Hey, my childhood self, if he could see me now and wearing Xbox stuff, I'd be sad as a kid. So.
What did you see here that you want to play or maybe buy?
99 Nights looked really good.
It's not here.
It's not out yet. No, I played the demo, and it's impressive. And same with Dead or Alive 4. It's not out yet, but the demo. The games here that are best. I got Madden for my buddy. We're gonna play that. I'd say Call of Duty 2 looks really good. Cameo's fun. From what I hear, it's kind of short, but it's a fun platformer if you're looking for that.
It's because you're a Nintendo fan. You like the kiddie games, right?
Apparently.
From?
My name's Joe. I'm from London.
So I understand you're an MVP. So Microsoft gets you into the event, but you have to fly yourself out here, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing here all the way from London for this?
It's Xbox 360. That's why I'm here.
Are you buying the 360 tonight?
I was gonna, but I haven't got enough money now. I overspent on the drink.
Are you guys picking up a system today?
We wanted to, but the funds just wasn't there.
Do you guys think the graphics are worth like the $600 upgrade that you guys are gonna be spending?
Yes. Graphics are awesome.
Yeah. The first time I seen it, I was like, I gotta have one.
I'm Zach. I'm from Los Angeles.
Do you normally play Xbox?
Pretty much.
Are you gonna buy an Xbox 360 tonight?
Here today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bought two.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gotta sell one.
What is your favorite game so far?
So far, I like Quake 4 and King Kong. Peter Jackson's King Kong.
So how does it feel to be in the gaming epicenter of the universe?
It was okay for a few hours.
And then
It's
wore off quickly?
just downhill fast. Just horrible.
All right, it's getting close to midnight. I
Yeah,
think I'll
I'm
go to
done.
bed.
I'm done. I'm so done.
I'm not sure this was worth the 6-hour drive, but at least we got our 360s.
That's right. And when Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb were up in the little G4 tower, looking down all the lowly gamers, we were in line with the people.
We got one early because of a contest, and we decided to put it on eBay. And because people wanted them early, and because the whole supply shortage thing, rumors going around, we got $1,100 just for one.
Well, I think this is it. We got our 360s, party's over. And actually, I think Xbox is officially dead, don't you think?
Well, wait. I got an idea. How about Halo 3 for both Xbox 360 and the original Xbox? If you can scale a game on PC and have it running on brand new hardware and hardware from 2 years ago, why can't you do that on Xbox as well? Like, they could design for both platforms, have the game stored on the same disc, they both read the same media, and then, 360 users would get to see it full featured in all its glory beautifully, and then Xbox One guys could play it, and still enjoy the experience and play against each other on live and stuff.
Yeah, you do have a point. It totally sounds possible. I don't know, I'll give them a call and see what they say. And remember that other rumor that we heard? VF5 PS3 exclusive.